everybody. Thanks for joining us. This is Caron, Sweet Signature Stamping. And thanks for joining us today for another episode of Roll of the Die. Joining me today is Michelle Holling and Kathy Irving. Say hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
And today, you guys, we are prepared. We have recorded this episode for you guys. We apologize for not going live. I will be attending On Stage, which is this weekend, and I'm not sure I would be back in time to do a live. So we didn't want you guys to miss out. So we have gone ahead and we have pre-recorded this, and it will air at the same time, which is 1 p.m. Central Standard Time on Sunday. What's Sunday's date? November. Somebody help me out.
I don't know.
Today on Sunday. Okay.
Is it the 13th?
I'm not sure what the heck the date is, but join us on Sunday, the Sunday coming. Anyway, you guys, for Roll of the Die, the elements that we rolled for Roll of the Die. Michelle, what are the elements that we rolled for Roll of the Die? Do you remember for this month?
Embossing, embellish, regals, congrats, and slimline.
Outstanding. So we have each prepared our interpretation of those elements for you, and Michelle is going to be Kathy. Michelle is going to be the first one to present today what she came up with those elements. Before we do, let me just remind you the colors that make up, there are 10 colors in the Stampin' Up! Collection that make up the Regals collection, and those colors are Blackberry Bliss, Cajun Craze, Crushed Curry, Cherry Cobbler. Yes, I have to write them down, y'all, because I need notes. Real Red, Garden Green, Old Olive, Shaded Spruce, Pumpkin Pie, and Rich Razzleberry. On that note, take it away, Miss Michelle. Hold on, let me spotlight you, and then you can get ready to go.
Okay, the card that I've come up with for you today is a flip-flap slimline card.
So I like it.
You have your nice fun fold. It's Regals using Blackberry Bliss and Cherry Cobbler. It opens up, all the different flaps open up, and you have your little messages. You have a place to write, and you have another place where you can sign your name. So let's get started, because this card has a lot of pieces. First thing I'm going to show you is what we're going to be using, and that is 2 stamp sets. One is Lovely and Lasting, and the other is Inspired Thoughts. So this has all your fun little sentiments, and this has some of the images we're going to be using. This also goes with a punch, which is the Lasting Label Punch. So this is going to be the focus piece on our sentiment on the front. You're going to need some classic ink in Blackberry Bliss and Cherry Cobbler. You're going to need some designer series paper, and I've brought in the Lights Aglow. So this is Christmas themed paper, but our card is not Christmas themed. So I'll show you how you can make this a little bit more use out of the year, not just Christmas. And we're going to need some ribbon, and I've used satin edged ribbon in gold. So that's gonna be a fun element. If I can tie a bow on camera, we'll see how that goes. And red and green adhesive back pearls. You're gonna need dimensionals, glue dots, liquid glue, and you can use dry adhesive, but I prefer liquid glue when you're using so many small pieces and parts. So the first thing we're going to need is a piece of Blackberry Bliss cardstock, and we're going to cut it. So we're going to cut it at 7 by 8.5, and then you'll have an extra piece, and you'll cut that down to 3.5 by 8 3/4. So this is going to be your functional piece. This is going to be your card base. And these we're going to cut into 3 pieces. We're going to cut 3 pieces of 2 3/4 by 7. So you'll have a little tiny sliver left over. And once you have those pieces, that's going to be your card base. Then we're going to need all sorts of little extra pieces to decorate with. So the white pieces, we're going to need 3 2 1/4 by 3 pieces, 1 1 3/4 by 1 3/4 square. We're going to need about 5 pieces of the cherry cobbler, and that is going to be at 2 1/2 by 3 1/4. And then for your designer series paper, we're going to need 3 2 1/4 by 3 pieces, 2 2 1/2 by 3 1/4 pieces, and my focal piece is going to be a fun sheet out of the Lights to Glow pack. It comes with these 4 gold foiled shapes, and I'm using a square and cut that down to 2 3/4 by 3. So that is all of your pieces and parts. You'll need 1 white scrap also for your label punch. So once we have all of that cut, by the magic of TV, I already do, because Lord knows how long that will take on camera. You're going to emboss 1 piece. So that is my embossing that I'm doing. And that is going to be with the quatrefoil tile embossing folder. So that looks like this. You throw 1 of your DSP pieces in there, run it through your machine. It comes out with this really pretty quatrefoil tile. And the sheet I used for that is going to be this sheet that looks like a bouquet print. And then the other sheet I'm using is this scalloped gold and embossed foil piece. That is my embossing. So the only thing we have left to do is stamp, and then we can put everything together. So I'm going to start with the sentiment for the front. So I'm going to grab a piece of scrap paper, and we're going to need some stamps. Grab those. All right, so for my front of my card, grab that again. So I need congratulations, flower, and the label stamp that goes with the punch. There we go. All right. So I prefer to stamp and then punch because it's really tight. You don't want to try to just stamp it after you've punched the shape. And I'm gonna start with Blackberry Bliss. Stamp out my lovely label. Got a nice, if you are worried about how this is going to stamp, since these are photopolymer stamps, you can use a foam mat. Fine. But it looks like it's working fine, so we'll try it without. We'll see how this goes. So we got a nice impression there. Off, and the congratulations I want to do in cherry cobbler. So I will do my flower first, since that's going to be Blackberry Bliss. So I have my little flower, that nice and inked up. Try to get that centrally located near the top. Perfect. All right, we're doing well so far. I always worry it's going to not come out, and I'm going to get a partial image and have to get more paper. But that's why paper has 2 sides, right? Not an issue. All right, cherry cobbler ink. Congratulations. Stamp him out. All right, now this one, light touch. You don't want to get ink all over the edges of your stamp, which I am notorious for. He just fits inside the border. It's a very close fit, but it works. All right, so now we have our fun image. I'm closing this so we don't get it all over everything. Another thing I'm known for. Getting ink smudged all over my project. All right. Lasting label punch. And locked and loaded to where you want. The edge just right. Just a quick squeeze and he's done. That is going to be our fun focal piece. Then we need to stamp. Let's see, we need to stamp our inside pieces. So we'll do these decorations. Then we can do this one square. Let's start with that one square. That's an easy one. Cherry cobbler ink again. 1 3/4 by 1 3/4 square piece. Sentiment from Inspired Thoughts. Ink all over. Okay. Here we go. Pretty good. It's not perfect, but yeah, we could try it one more time on the back. There wasn't quite enough ink on the top. Let's see. Much better. Okay. That's that one. And now for our other pieces, you can decorate them any way you want. Start by putting cheers. And let's see. Now I'm going to switch to that Blackberry Bliss ink again. Come in and do in the corners. So let's see, how did I do that?
Are all of your stamps from the same sentiment or the same set?
2 sets. So the print is from Inspired Thoughts and the more cursive looking is from Lovely and Lasting. All right. I'm just going to put this in the corners. That is crooked. Hold on. I can't get over top of it because the camera is there, but that's close enough. And let's see. I want something down the bottom. So there's a cool tile stamp. Half of that on there. Ah, perfect. Yay. All right, so that's going to be that one piece. Now we're going to do another piece. And this one we're going to do coming in from the corners. One like that. One like this. All right. Love it when it comes out the first time. So that is going to be our other piece. And then the third white piece is going to be blank for you to write on. And I think we got all of our stamping done. So we're ready to put the card together. Okay. I'll get the ink out of the way. These stamps out of the way. No mishaps with inked up stamps. Don't really need that. Let's flip that over. All right. So we need to do the card base first. So you're going to take that one big piece of 3.5 by 8 3/4, and you're going to take your 3 pieces of 2 3/4 by 7, scored in half at 3.5, and you're going to glue them down onto this sheet. So you're going to put one on the left side, one on the right side, and then you can go in the center and get it as even as possible. So we'll try to do that. let's grab some glue. Now it's all about assembly. I'm going to put this all the way on the edge. Lined up pretty good. Side. So you can use regular dry adhesive for this, just an adhesive runner. You don't have to use liquid glue, but just so we can have a little work time to wiggle this into place, the liquid glue is probably a little easier. All right, now the centerpiece, getting this even. That's going to be our little challenge. I know it's very dark cardstock, so it's hard to see. But there is a tiny sliver between each flap. It's like 1/16 of an inch. Nice and good. All right, so these are going to be your flaps. Now I'm just remembering I did something a little different on my original card. I flipped it upside down so that the center flap is going the opposite way. Let's do that again. Sorry. All right, now we're gonna have them going in different ways. That's better. Now you have it alternating. All right, now we just have to mat everything and we will be good to go. So let's start by one blank white one on the inside flap, the one that's going in the opposite direction. It's easy. And do this centerpiece here. So we're just going to take that piece, throw him in there. This guy goes in the center of him. Gotta love car alarms in New York. Doesn't matter what time of day it is, one is always going off. Just slightly crooked. All right, let's add a little glue here. Corner that I missed. Just push that down. All right, so that's that piece. Then we're gonna take, we have those 5 matte pieces of the cherry cobbler. So those will go with these. And these 2 bigger pieces will go on these. And then we have the 3 for the front. Let's finish inside. There's a lot of cutting and gluing. Piece down here. And these matted up. It's looking pretty straight. Okay. No, actually, it looks crooked. Ah. It's not homemade if it's not crooked. Yeah, it's not too bad. All right, this one's going to go at the top. This guy's going to go at the bottom. And this one needs a little more glue. want to be a little careful so you don't glue your card shut. All right, so the inside is all done. Now we do the outside pieces. I'm gonna let that dry and mat these pieces. So for the remaining 3 mats, put those down. Definitely want liquid glue for the embossed piece because it's no longer flat. So dry adhesive would not really cut it on that piece unless you're using Seal Plus. That would probably hold it. Scalloped pieces with the nice pretty gold foil. And one more.
Michelle, were those heat embossed?
The
scallop.
paper? No, it came with
That's the
the
paper.
foil.
Okay,
It already came foiled. I'm cheating.
it's just so pretty.
It's very pretty. And I don't have to get all the embossing powder and the heat gun and all the fun things that Corone loves. I don't have to get all that out. But I still get that nice shiny look. All right. And I want to put embellishments on this piece. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to take these and grab some, what did I use? Gold. All right, so we got our little gold dots. I like to use my take your pick tool. I use the spatula end. Everybody uses like a different tip on this tool. There's 4 tips. I see everybody use a different tip, but I use the spatula because I think it gives me the most control over where I'm placing things. And I can make sure like these little tiny embellishments, they come off cleanly with the little self-adhesive glue dots. All right, so that's all placed there. I'm going to use dimensionals to attach this to this piece here. How many dimensionals am I going to use, Carol? Oh, she's not guessing. All right, I'm going to use 6 dimensionals.
Sorry, I'm muted on my side, so you won't hear my dog barking. I had said 4.
4. I used 6. Ha-ha! I tricked you this time. All right, so that's going to be our very central piece. These on. Make sure my scallops are going in the direction I want them. I want them to go down. Make sure they both match. All right, 1. 2. And he's facing down, so he matches the top one. Nothing worse than doing it upside down. Okay, and the central piece. All right, and finally, the bow. Now, I don't know if I can tie a bow on camera. This is nerve-wracking, but we'll see if we can do it. We'll give it the old college try. Okay. I'm gonna take my ribbon and I have this cool bow maker. I'm gonna tie this around the second to last tines. And I'm gonna do it one more time to try to make a double bow through the center, down under, and tie a knot. And then sometimes these look loose to me if it's only tied once. So I'm going to tie it twice. Try to get tails going the way I want them. Get a good snip. Slide it off. And pull it apart. And we have a nice little double bow guy. Not too shabby.
That's cute.
Grab a big glue dot. Roll up your big glue dot. So it's not going to show. Stick them on. And we're all done. Yay! We did it.
Very nice.
All right.
Yes, you did a great job. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I will probably be casing that.
Me too.
Yeah. Do any colors, any themes, anything you want. And they look pretty much the same.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you, Michelle. We really appreciate that. Kath, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
All righty. Give me 1 minute. Let me remove the spotlight from Miss Michelle. And I will get you spotlit.
Great. Okay, I'm going to be using this birthday piggy. And I was fortunate enough to get the Playful Piggy dies, which were available for a short time. The dies are no longer available. So what I did is my first card that I made, I didn't use the dies. Everything that I did was stamped and colored, but I'm not going to make this card again. So the first thing I'm going to do is take the top of my card, and I'm going to, excuse me, I'm going to heat emboss. Now what I did on here before was I blended Starry Night with Balmy Blue. And then at the bottom, I have, what is that? Crumble? No, can't think of the name of it. I have it right here. Crumb cake. I knew it's something with a crumb. So I'm going to stamp big congratulations, hopefully in the middle. And if not, no big deal. And if it's not straight, oh well. And I'm going to sprinkle it with silver. This is the Stampin' Up! Silver embossing powder. Now I don't have the fancy Stampin' Up! Tray and tweezers and all of that yet. He would start barking now, wouldn't he? Okay. Big congratulations. Please excuse my dog. He thinks he's the star of the show. I'm gonna move this out of the way. And what you want to do before you start heat embossing you want to heat up your heat tool. Let it go for a few moments. You have less of a chance of curling your paper if you just wait until the heat tool is hot enough. It doesn't take very long. So I'm going to emboss Big Congratulations. And as it turns color, starts to shine, you're done. All right, now I basically cut out everything. So, and colored, so you wouldn't have to go through all of that. So what I'm going to do, I cut out my clouds using the cloud punch, which is available in the current catalog. And I'm going to put those down directly onto my front. And I have some silver ink and I outlined them, the clouds, with the silver ink to match the silver Big Congratulations. And I cut out and colored my pigs. These are going to go on with dimensionals. I wanted to save as much time and do as much as I could ahead of time. I'm sure you didn't need to watch me color this. If you do, let me know. And I'll color it and put it online. I'll make this card completely and put it on YouTube. It won't be alive, but I'll do it. So I'm going to remove these. And this little piggy is going to go right here. Remove these. This little piggy is going to go right here. Okay, now this, I forgot to tell you, this is 8 by 3 1/4. This piece here. I'm going to attach it to a piece of a Wash in Beauty. And this piece is 8 1/4 by 3 1/2. I'm going to hopefully use glue. Someone's at my door, my husband's talking. Okay. Okay. Now, I'm going to put glue on the back of this. And going to adhere it to my base. Different people use different dimensions for their slimline cards. This one is 8 3/4 by 7 1/2, and I scored it at 3 3/4. Okay, now I think my presentation is going to be kind of short. I'm going to make a bow. or attempt to make a bow. Now, when I colored my piggies, I used pale papaya. I think I used pale papaya and calypso coral. This ribbon is pale papaya. The base is pumpkin pie. Excuse my arm, which is one of the regals. And I believe calypso coral might be as well. It's not straight. No, it's not even, put it that way. Okay. And like Michelle, I'm going to use some glue dots for my ribbon. And it's going to go right here in the middle. And I'm going to use the Wash in Beauty Iridescent Pearl Basic Jewels as my embellishment in addition to my bow. This was done in Regal Red, which is another one of the, not Regal Red, Real Red, which is another one of the regals. These are kind of small, however, I can still use them to embellish my card. Where should I put this one? Let's put it right here. I'm supposed to use odd numbers, so I just used 3. So I didn't do an inside as of yet. So this is my card. If you'd like to purchase anything, you can go to kathyirvin.stampinup.net and order from my online store. Thank you.
Well, you did a great job.
Very
Seems
cute.
like both of you guys did. I guess what is maybe the industry standard size slimline cards? What are you doing for envelopes?
Using the slimline envelopes from the catalog.
Well, I don't have any of those. You can either use a regular size 10 envelope, which in my case, I think it'll work okay because I have white on here. Or you can make your own. They're not hard to do.
Okay. Well, you have plenty of time, Kath, if you want to make a slimline one for your card. You want to?
Have my supplies ready for that.
Okay. Well, then I'll leave you alone with that one then. On that note, I'll leave you alone. But you may have time at the end if you want to grab some supplies and maybe show folks how to make if they don't want to use a size 10 envelope. Michelle, if you have the slimline ones from the catalog, you can pull those. And then Kathy, if you want to show folks how to make a DIY envelope, you can.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to spotlight myself here. Okay. So this is all of my details. Again, I'm Caron. I'm the host for today. If you do need to contact me, please contact me at sweetsignatures@gmail.com, or you can shop on my online store, at www.sweetsignatures.stampinup.net. And if you choose to shop with me this month for anything under $150, please feel free to use the hostess code. That way, that gets you into my monthly drawing where you can receive a prize of some sort. I think this past month for October, I gave away a set of pool party and seafoam note cards and envelopes to Miss Yvonne. She was the winner of this month. So let me get started. Let me show you what I'm making for us today. I'm not a big fan of slimline cards, so I chose to go the smallest route possible. So I chose to do a mini slimline card. Okay, like Michelle said during her presentation, you can use slimline cards. Pretty much is they come in various different sizes. I chose to go with the mini, and my dimensions for my slim card, you'll need to start with the card base size of 6 inches by 7. And in this case, I used a piece of basic white that is 6 by 7 inches. And it's scored at the 3.5 mark on the 7-inch side. You're also going to need a matte layer. And again, for my matte layer, I just stepped down 1/8 of an inch. So you will need a matte layer. In this case, it is Cajun Craze, and it is 3 3/8 by 5 7/8. And then my basic white layer is a full 1/4 inch size down from the card base, which gives us a piece that's 3 1/4 by 5 3/4. All of the measurements for this card will be on the corresponding blog for Sunday, not for today. It'll be for Sunday, the date that this video will go live. All right, so let's get started. Let me show you what I'm doing. And it's very simple. I'm using several of my absolute favorite techniques. I love ink blending, I love masking, and that's what I chose to do with this card. So I'm going to bring in my piece of basic white cardstock that again is 3 1/4 by 5 3/4. And I went ahead and I had already pre-ripped a piece of cardstock of regular copy paper that I'm going to use. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick a spot, any spot on my card, making sure that things line up and I give myself a wide enough space. So I'm going to go here. And I'm going to, again, come in with the bottom half. And again, pick a spot, any spot, leaving yourself enough space. And this is a little bit of the ripped edge technique. And all I'm going to do now is I'm going to go in with a little bit of purple tape to secure both sides so that I don't have a lot of slippage when I'm trying to ink blend. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to de-stickify my, is that a word even? De-stickify, but I'm going to de-stickify my purple tape, painter's tape, just to make sure that it doesn't rip my paper if it happens to get on anything. Okay. Now I'm being careful in the way I'm doing this to make sure that all I'm doing is taping down the copy paper and not necessarily the actual cardstock. And my colors today for my ink blending, I'm going to use crushed curry. I'm also going to use real red and Cajun Craze. So I started with my crushed curry. And again, Stampin' Up! Has blending brushes, and you'll see that I use them. But again, before Stampin' Up! Came out with our blending brushes, I had a whole bunch of them. So I am continuing to use what I have. Just goes to show you, as card makers, you don't have to buy the latest and greatest of everything. You can if you want to, and I'm not going to stop you, but definitely use what you have in order to save a little bit on the spending. But we do have blending brushes in the catalog. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and lightly blend. And it's always easier, when you're blending, to make sure to start lightly. And then you can always add more color if you want things to be a little bit darker. Okay, so in my first card, my demo card, I kind of went a little bit light. So I'm going to add a little bit heavier color this time, just to show a little bit of differentiation in the projects. And notice when you rip your cardstock, try not to rip it to the exact size. Make sure it's a little bit longer and wider. That way you have a little bit of extra space that you can go ahead and use to tap off some of the color when you're ink blending. So next I'm going to go in with my Real Red. Ink pad. And make sure that's all lined up. And try to get a little bit of overlap, not so much, because sometimes when you mix colors, you might get that muddy hue, because when you mix primary colors, I think purple and red, yellow and red, I think gives you orange, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's primary colors. If you mix like red, blue, and green, it's going to make brown.
Thank you, thank you. So you don't really want to have a lot of mottled colors. So be very careful when you're choosing your color palette for blending. Now I'm going to go darker on this one again because I went a little light on the first project. And this is probably the most time-consuming part of making this card, is the ink blending. Okay. And then the last color we're going to go in with the blending is our Cajun Craze. Ooh. Something just came off here. Figure that part out later. And then I have going with my orange brush and add my Cajun Craze. How far you extend each color is completely a design element, up to you. And I'm choosing on this part, if you'll notice, oops, right in between, I'm leaving a little bit of area of light there. And that is by choice. Once you've blended the colors the way you want them, just go ahead and remove your torn edges. You can save them for another project, or you can get rid of them. I'm going to get rid of mine. So here we have our design practically finished. And so now we're going to go in and do a little bit of stamping. All right. With our soft suede, we're going to go ahead and stamp our tree. Oh, I didn't tell you what stamp sets I'm using. That would help. So I'm using Paradise Palms. And in theory, I was going to congratulations on the retirement wishes, which is kind of what I wanted to do. So I'm using Paradise Palms because I know when I retired, all I wanted to do was go sit on a beach somewhere, right? And the congratulations that I have, I'm taking from the Peaceful Moment stamp set. And both of these are in the annual catalog. All right, so with our soft suede, we're going to stamp our palm tree element from the Paradise Palms. Okay, let's set that aside. We're done with our Cajun Craze. I'm sorry, our soft suede. Trying not to, there we go. Then the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna use our Old Olive, which is another one of the Regal colors. And I'm going to mask this one. I'm gonna mask this right, well, no, I need all of it right now. So I'm not gonna mask any of it. And I'm gonna use the tree element from this stamp set as well. I'm sorry, the leaves, the grass, sorry. And I'm just gonna stamp me some grass in first and second generation stamping. So I have a good grassy knoll-ish type of thing going on there. Okay, we're done with that. Got a little bit of old olive on here, so I'm going to get rid of that right there. And then I went ahead and I had punched, I'm going to stamp the sun. Because you got to have a sun when you're sitting on the beach, right? Pumpkin pie is another one of the regal colors I'm going to stamp off because I don't want it to be too dark. I'm going to place my sun right here. And then I created a little bit of a mask, okay, for my sun. I told you I'm using a lot of masking. These are my favorite techniques. Okay. And then I'm going to go in with the cloud, and that's going to be in balmy blue. Now, how you position your cloud, that's completely up to you. And then if you follow me at all in any of my stamping, you'll know that I actually don't like a lot of starkness in my color. So I'm going to go in with the balmy blue and a blending brush, and I'm just going to add a little bit of color very lightly to break up that harsh whiteness of the basic white cardstock. Very lightly. So we've already built this scene, you guys. We are almost done with creating our card base, our card image. So I've used regals. I haven't stamped my congratulations yet, but I'll get ready to do that. So I have that color. Now I'm going to stamp my sentiment, and I'm going to stamp my congratulations. I'm going to go in with my VersaFine Clear. And I use this a lot for stamping, especially when I'm going to emboss my images, okay, or my sentiments. This VersaFine ink, it's a slow drying ink, so it gives you sufficient amount of time to go ahead and then grab out your embossing powder so that you can go ahead and add it, and then just add my congratulations in here, like so. Gonna grab my clear embossing powder. Yes, Michelle, I am embossing.
Oh, of course you are.
Yes, Michelle, I am embossing.
The embossing queen.
I love it. I think, especially when I want a little bit of bling, but I'm not trying to add a whole lot. Although there's supposed to be embellishments in this project, I think just making sure that your sentiments pop is just an awesome way to add a little bit of shine and bling to your project. I just absolutely love to see when the embossing powder transitions. Okay, our sentiment is embossed. Okay. Last thing I'm going to do now is I like dimensions. Actually, I'm going to adhere this panel to our Cajun Craze matte layer, which is 3 3/8 by 5 7/8. And I'm using liquid glue. I just thought about it, and I should have thought about it before. One of the other elements, and I'm probably going to do that after, is I'm going to go in with the white enamel, what's it called? Enamel effects, pearlized enamel effects, the one in white. And I'm going to lay down a little bit of color, maybe a little bit of brown, so I can put some coconuts in the trees and have those be my little coconuts in the trees. I just thought about that, by the way. All right, so the queen of dimensionals, I'm actually going to use my adhesive foam sheets. No dimensionals today. No dimensionals today.
No saggy layers.
No. This is too wide. It definitely needs the foam adhesive sheets. And then that is what we're going to do there. Last thing I'm going to do, let me enforce my seam here, or my fold, my card base. And then for my embellishments, these are retired, but I'm going to use what are these called? The pebble enamel shapes. I think they're perfect. They look like little rocks. So I'm going to just place them on under the tree, in the grass. Oops. And then I think I will have met all of the elements of the challenge. So this card is completely done, as you can see. Card 1 and card 2, meeting the requirements for the challenge. Now, because this is like a non-standard size card, I took the liberty of trying to create an envelope. Actually, I was trying to do it while Michelle was doing her project. So, and I think I came up with the right measurements. So let me go through and try to make an envelope to fit our slimline card. That is going to be 3.5 by 6. Okay, so what I started with was a piece of in this case designer series papers, and this was an 8 by 8 piece of cardstock. And I scored on one side, I scored at 1 inch, or this is the 3/4 inch side, and this is 1 inch, so 3/4 inch and 1 inch. And then on the other side, I scored at 2 1/4 and 6. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and burnish my fold, because this is a very busy pattern and I can't necessarily see my fold line, so I need for it to be really crisp when I'm folding it. Now let's hope this fits right. You might have to adjust a little bit, right? But after all, it is only paper. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we are going to snip away at these little rectangles on the ends. I'm going to turn it over because I can see the fold better that way. When I'm having to make longer cuts, I prefer to use snips or scissors that have a longer blade. That way I really only have to make like one pass, except what I just did right now because I did more than one pass. But typically that's my preference when I'm determining what scissors that I'm using. Because if I had used smaller snips, that means it's more time that I need. And chances of me making a mistake or chopping off less than what I need to chop off, etc., is increased tenfold. All right, so after we go ahead and we snip off these corners, we're going to do a little mitering. And I'm going to miter my edges. And I'm primarily going to do it on both sides. And by mitering, all I mean is just, and all it does is take off a little bit of bulk. So when you're folding, you don't have that little extra bulk. And all it is making a little triangle snip on one side and a little triangle snip on that side to help reduce some of the bulk in the folding. Do the same on the other side, like so. And the same on that side. All right, so let's do a little measuring. Now the smaller side is going to be the bottom. So when we put this in here, you're going to fold, bottom up, and then top down. Okay, so now all we need to do now is go ahead and add. And for me, I'm going to use a little bit of score tape. I think that works best for me. A little bit, something that's a little bit strong. You can use Seal Plus if that's what you'd like as well. I've got to find my stuff now. Double-sided tape. And I'm going to put my, let me take this out because I don't want to stick that down accidentally. So I'm going to put my tape on this side because we know it's going to overlap. And then we're going to put tape on the bottom. Kathy, are you making your envelope the same way? Ish.
I'm sorry, I was muted.
Okay.
Yes, basically the same exact way, just a little
Okay.
longer.
Okay. And then before I close that down, I'm going to round my corners. So I'm looking for my little corner rounder here. And I'm going to go in with the trio punch. To round my edges. Oops. You can tell I didn't practice this part, right? I think I got it. No, it's not rounding. All right. And I know why. So I'm going to fall back. And still round my edges. But all I'm gonna do is take my snips. I'm gonna use smaller snips this time. Just to round my edges just a bit. Now, if you're looking to be a little bit on the precise side, just doing it the way I'm doing it is probably not the best way for you. Okay, now we're gonna put our envelope together. Using our take your pick tool, we're just gonna take off the adhesive. Oops. I went to see the Emmett Till movie yesterday. It
How
was
was it?
really good. It was really good. There you go. And last thing to do is put a little bit of adhesive right at the top. And when you're ready to close up your card and mail your envelope, you are ready to go.
Very cool.
Envelope is done. So there you go. Kathy, do you want to show how you did yours, or you're good with the way I did it?
I'm good the way you did it.
Okay.
I found my envelopes. I can show those.
Yes, hold on. All righty, hold on. Let me take the spotlight off of myself. All right, there you go.
Okay, so we have envelopes in the catalog, slimline envelopes, and that's item number 157981. And they look like this on the inside. So they have different prints. I think it's soft succulent, gray granite, and white. And your card fits nicely inside.
Oh, nice. If you wanted to, could you put a little bit of Christmas paper on the inside?
You could, but it already has a design.
Okay.
It's
All right,
done
so
in-
I guess at this point we are gonna get ready to roll our little die here to see what what our elements will contain for next month. I didn't bring one in here, Michelle, but I do know that I need to. So how about I do this?
You
Okay.
didn't bring what, a box to roll the dice in?
I always have these little jars in here, but they seem to be I don't ever in my opinion, I don't get a good enough roll. So I think we're using the same things kind of over and over and over again. I would rather
Same
not
element.
embellish. I would rather not use regals again. So let's hope this works. I think I'm just gonna shake it up.
All right, spotlight your desk.
Huh?
Spotlight your desk.
Oh, I'm not. I didn't. Oh, no. There we go. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Sorry. So all I'm gonna do is shake this up. Reach in and see what I grab. All right, first is thanks. I like that better. Add DSP foil, etc. So that's like some sort of pattern paper or something like that. Is a child abduction of some sort happening. We're embossing again, y'all. So in order, let's differentiate this time, okay? So we're gonna do some dry embossing. Okay, so dry embossing using embossing folder or whatever dry embossing means to you. So we're going to be a little bit more specific instead of just embossing. So it's dry embossing. Okay, we're going to use the brights. Last but not least, gotta have ribbon or twine. All right, so our projects for next month will include the brights, has to be a thank you card or some sort of thanks. Heat dry embossing, must use DSP or specialty paper, and you must have some sort of ribbon or twine in your project. Any closing notes for us, you guys? Oh, I wonder.
No, thanks for having us as usual. I always have a good time and learn something from my fellow demo friends every time we do this.
I enjoy it. I do learn from you guys as well. I have a lot of fun. It's amazing to me how we all take the same elements, but we kind of go in such vastly different directions with what we present and what we create.
Can I show you what I've been up to?
Of course. Hold on, let me spotlight you.
We'll be back again December 11th. That's the second Sunday.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, you want me to, where do you want me to spotlight,
Just
Kathy?
spotlight my table.
Is that with Ocean? Because that's what I'm looking at.
Oh, that's Jada. Let's see what brings up.
That's all I got.
Never mind. I'll show you. Spotlight me.
Okay.
It may have gone out. I got some calls. No one ever calls until
So we're recording our live.
I've been making these.
Oh.
These are this is Spider-Man.
Uh-huh.
And you can make it into a bracelet. I make them with my I almost said embossing. My sewing machine.
Oh, okay.
Wait, is it like an embroidered patch?
It's an embroider, exactly.
You're gonna use grommets or
Make me some.
I'm thinking of putting grommets. I'm not sure because
Okay.
you can make bracelets or you can put the shoestrings through there and
Okay.
have it sit on the front of their tennis shoes.
Oh,
Which
wow.
I think is
That's so cute.
so. I'm going to be making some. There's supposed to be Hello Kitty, but since
You have to
that's
make me a
art,
Hello Kitty. That's what I want for
it's
Christmas.
Hi Kitty.
It's
I
what?
want Hi Kitty.
It's Hi Kitty.
You
So
must make me Hi
anyway,
Kitty.
that has nothing to do with making cards. I just wanted to show you.
Oh,
Wait, show me for a second. I want to show you why I need you to make me Hi Kitty.
okay.
On my planner
Hold on.
cover.
Here you go.
Oh, I
Oh,
have him too.
Yes, I put all these things and I have the whole back to do. So you can make me Hi Kitty and whatever else.
Okay.
Okay.
You guys are awful. Oh my gosh. I'm excited to leave. I'm driving up to Arlington on Friday. I'm gonna link up with Karen Finley. She's a fellow demonstrator. And we are getting excited for On Stage, which is this weekend. Silver Elite demonstrators, I think, are eligible to, there's an event for silver Elite and above demonstrators. And that's called Center Stage, and that's going to be on Friday. But I'm not a Silver Elite, so I'm not going to that. But I am excited because we get to see and get in our hot little hands the new catalog.
Yay! I can't wait to hear all about it.
Yeah, me
FOMO for
too,
real.
'cause I'm not going.
Oh yeah. And so I'm driving back, and the reason why we decided to record this is because it's about a 3 hour drive from 3 hours plus, depending on traffic, from Arlington to back to Austin. And so I figure if I left up there at 8 o'clock in the morning, I wasn't sure I'd be ready to go live at 1 o'clock. I'd probably be tired as all get out. So this is why we kind of wanted to make sure that we had the recording for you so that you would still be able to enjoy the roll of the die with us. So I'm excited about that. But not only do we get the catalog in our hands, I'm sure if historically what Stampin' Up! Has always done is when you register, you will get, everybody gets an item from the catalog. Everybody gets the same item. And then they have what's called prize patrols, and prize patrols are usually different other products in the catalog. And then I think once it's just, by the time I left there, the last couple of times I have walked away with about 4 or 5 of the new products in the catalog, just for attending on stage. So I'm excited about that. And then I think I saw yesterday in our updates that there's some changes. Did y'all see the changes that's going on with the catalogs and new products? So if I remember correctly, and I'm not sure, Michelle, correct me, or Kathy, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's still going to be an annual catalog. There's still going to be 2 mini catalogs. There's only now going to be 1 celebration period.
January, right?
In the January one. The mini catalogs are now only going to be, what is it, 2 months? 3 months?
4 months.
4 months. Okay, so the mini catalogs are currently 6 months long. So it's January to June, July to December. So as of next year, it's going to be 4 months, which will be January to April. And then I think it's, what's the start date? October? September. September through for 4 months. But they're going to come out, they're going to start releasing new products. What is it, like new releases? Was it monthly or quarterly?
I think it's, what did they say? Was it 2?
Every 2 months, right? Or something like that?
Yeah.
So every 2 months, there's going to be like a product release, and you guys will go ahead and we'll in each of our respective newsletters, or however each of us as demonstrators communicate with our customers, we'll definitely share that with you, but to make sure that we give you the correct and accurate information. But I believe it's every 2 months, there's going to be a product release. It's something that you can only get. It will never be in the catalog. It is something that you can get only during that release period. So I'm excited about the change, to see what's going to happen with that. I'm excited for on stage. I'm going to get to meet so many of the demonstrators who we communicate with just by Zoom. We've never met in person. So we get to meet Connie Stewart, who is my upline in Stampin' Up. She will be in Arlington. I don't ever get to see her except in videos and so on. So I'm going to get to see Connie. And I'm excited about that. Yeah. I mean, she just made her, what, 2 million? I think 2 million.
Yeah.
It was 2 million in sales. So I mean, I'm in great Stampin' Up! Company. Okay. So I'm excited about rubbing shoulders with all of these people and seeing the amazing projects that they're getting ready to create with us. So on that note, you guys, I want to say thank you guys for being patient with us, for joining us. And I think Michelle told us that December, the date is when?
The 11th.
Okay, so we'll have to change December 11th. I am going on my holiday cruise with my sister, and we leave December 1st, and we're not back until the 13th. So we will do it the following Sunday, whatever that date happens to be. Okay. We're going to touch ports. I think it's Colombia, Panama. I think Jamaica was on there.
Yeah, that's the one I'm going on next year.
Awesome. So, and we're cruising on MSC. MSC is one of my favorite ships, you guys. So I'm excited for my holiday vacation. Woo-hoo! So on that note, you guys, thanks for joining us again, and we look forward to seeing you next month. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And guys, when I hit 100 subscribers, there will be a grand prize giveaway for everyone that is a subscriber to my channel. Please make sure that if you are hidden or screened or masked or whatever, that I'm able to know who you are so that I can put your name into the drawing. Otherwise, I'm sorry, I won't know who you are. Okay, so guys, have a great day. See you guys, and happy stamping.
Bye.
Bye.
See you December 18th.